My name is Jerry Landsberger. I was a skipper of an LCT 546 World War II. Myself and about 12 guys from my college got on a bus and went to St. Paul and joined the Navy Reserve 2 months later. I was in the European Theater of Operation and hit the beach on D-Day in the second wave of LCTs. I carried on board ship 5 tanks and 55 men from the First Army. We were originally scheduled to hit the beach on the third wave, but due to problems that were encountered in the theater of operation, some of the second wave LCTs were not ready, and so I went in with the second wave. There was this Omaha, what they called Easy Red, but which later they called Bloody Red. It was the worst beach of all of the 5 beaches, and of all of the worst sector there were 5 sectors on Omaha, and this was the worst one, and Omaha was the worst of all of them. And when I hit the beach, I was one of the fortunate few. The timing was just right so that I could get all the way up and onto the beach. I didn't have to drop my hook out so that there was water, and the men had to go through the water. The tanks were able to get off the ramp right onto shore. So 3 tanks left, and about half of the 55 men left. And then the commander of the beach, Lieutenant Commander Colonel Buckley, his name was, came aboard ship and says, "Stop, just don't bring any more tanks ashore. We're not moving, we're bogged down, we're in trouble. Instead, get the ramp down all the way and bring aboard all the wounded that we can gather at this time and take them back to the hospital ship." So we proceeded to do that, and we got the whole ship full of injured, and there were a lot of them. And some of them were very badly injured. In the meantime, they pounded the beach with the warships that were there. The USS Arkansas and Texas were around that area, and they hit the beach above the men that were on the shore and in the embattlements of the Germans that were there. We waited until we were told to go in, and then I went in for the second time and unloaded the last 2 tanks and the last 25 or 30 men. So there was a lot of shouting and screaming, and the fire, they were firing at the ships. As a matter of fact, one of the skippers on LCT 540 was killed. And we knew him real well, of course, because we were in the same flotilla. His name was Nye Moses, and he was from California. Of course, we started D-Day a day earlier. I don't know whether you were aware of that or not, but originally D-Day was scheduled for June the 5th, and we were 3 or 4 hours out of Portland Bill, where all the LCTs were at that time, a whole flotilla of them. I was in flotilla 19. Anyhow, we were out about 4 hours, and we got a word from a bullhorn that they were using at the time because they didn't want to tip off the Germans that we were on the way, telling us to go back. So we did. We went back, and then we started out again 1 day later doing the same thing, but this time we went all the way into the beach. The timing had to be perfect, because of the tremendous tides there. I don't know whether anybody ever mentioned that to you, but they have like 30 or 40-foot tides. And when the tide is out, you have a beautiful beach there. And later on, we used to play football, softball stuff on the beach while our ship was being unloaded, because I was there from D-Day until we left, I think, in November. First we brought in men, then we brought in supplies, and we stayed there until November. I think that in large part, the freedoms and liberty we have today is due primarily to veterans like myself who gave their all, didn't hesitate, you know. They were a great bunch of guys. They were real soldiers. I think that history, the kids today are not taught anything about history, you know? They don't know what went on in World War II. They don't know what went on in the Korean War. They don't know what went on in Vietnam War. They don't know. They are not taught any history. And I think that's bad. They should be taught to know what certain individuals went through for our freedom.